Hello, BookTube, and welcome to Garbaugust 2024, Garbaugust 3D. This is Criminali's great BookTube event where we all read trash in the month of August. I've been preparing for this day as much as I can be. I've been building up lots and lots of trash on the iPad, and lots of trash on the Kindle, and also lots and lots of trash paperbacks that I have found at other points in the year. Find something, it screams, I am garbage, I am a waste of your time, and I think, ooh, good, I'll take you, and I'll throw you on the pile and read you in August. So I threw one of these books on the pile for last night, from the 1980s. This is Killsquad number 9, Devil's Island, by Frank Garrett. And that is the cover, which has not one but two tiger sharks on it. It has these two tangling with each other. It has this guy in his short shorts. And it has this grizzled old operative there, who is the character, I assume he is the character Hangman, who's the main character in this book. A government operative, an ex-killer for hire, who has assembled a kill squad. They are an off-the-books, off branch of the organization he works for, and they are composed of death row inmates. Really tough as nails death row inmates who have no choice other than just awaiting their execution. So, Suicide Squad, basically. He has the ultimate hold over them in that your fate is in my hands. So you will be my crew to do operations that no normal group of operatives wants to do. And you will risk those things in exchange for your partial freedom. You will be out in the world. You won't be sitting around in a cell waiting to die. And it was awful. This is absolutely awful. It checked a lot of boxes for me in terms of garbage. It's nonstop action. It's nonstop plot oriented. The characters are all jerks. Every one of them. Every character in this book is a jerk. The good guys, the bad guys, the victims, the villains, all of them. They're all jerks. And also, there's a lot of violence, and a lot of it is done with equipment. Spears, high-powered fishing spears or guns of all kinds. And in every one of those cases, the ordnance is described in loving, pornographic detail, which I always associate with trash fiction. There's a nominal mission here. The Hangman has a nominal mission for his crew, against a drug dealer and his crew of Trinidadian hired workers, but it's the merest flimsy excuse to just have a lot of action. There's a lot of action in this book. This is clearly meant for 13-year-olds who have an unhealthy relationship with women, but also for the arrested 13-year-olds who have unhealthy relationships with women who were business executives in the 1980s. All the business executives in the 1980s were also arrested 13-year-old boys who have really unhealthy relationships with women. And this is meant to just hit that sweet spot, if it is a sweet spot. So you get tons and tons of scenes. I'll read you just one example here. I won't be doing this regularly, but Hangman's Beretta 92F whipped from his jacket. He squeezed the trigger. At point-blank range, the 9mm slug exploded into the back of the head of White's attacker. The goon jerked forward, then nosedived off the wharf when Hangman's second round blasted away another chunk of skull and brains. What's his name? I don't believe this is the author's name. Frank Garrett. I'm pretty sure that's a pseudonym. But he calls everybody goons here. Everybody's a goon. Snatching up a machete, Leroy Walker speared the blade through the belly of the attacker he'd knocked down as that would-be killer rolled onto his back. The blade snapped the goon's spine, thudded into wood, impaling him to the wharf. Blood vomited from the pinned black's gaping mouth. But death whisked him away into the void. The guy stared up at Walker as if to say, "How could you do this to me, brother?" The lone survivor of the hit squad bolted to his feet and ran from the would-be prey that had instead turned out to be a hydra of carnage. And hydra is capitalized, and so is carnage. Rage twisting his guts, Hangman sighted down the Beretta's slide, drawing target acquisition on the fleeing Black Hulk. The guy ran for his life, but he couldn't outrun Hangman's tracking line of death. Hangman stroked the trigger. Downrange, the 9mm slug punched into the Trinidadian's back between his shoulder blades. A sharp cry, and the goon nosedived to the wharf. His arms twitching, Hangman's victim crawled a foot through his leaking juices. Then Hangman ended the guy's misery with a well-placed round through the back of his head, spattering blood, brains, and muck across the wharf. There are about 100 scenes like that in this book. The Killsquad can't move an inch without needing to fight their way out of some room somewhere somehow. So it was classic trash. I confess, it doesn't hit a sweet spot for me. Not just because I'm not an arrested woman-hating 13-year-old who only wants to amass money and build an empire and have a sex slave ring in Romania. I confess that's part of the reason why this didn't hit a sweet spot with me. But the other reason that it didn't is because there's no way to laugh even at this book. It's so ugly. I mean, it's good, clean fun to have fun laughing at garbage for Garbaugust, but this didn't do it for me at all. I'm glad that I've never been tempted to get any other Killsquad novels. Although the only reason I was tempted to get this one is because of that tiger shark on the back there. It has the markings of a tiger shark. It has the face of a bull shark. But sharks make a couple of appearances in this book, including one unbelievable scene that just is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I found it in a number of He-Man action hero novels where the writer, what's his name again? Frank Garrett. The writer seems to think that I can have this guy take out a whole bar room full of trained killers with just his fingers, but I'm still not convinced that I'm conveying just how tough he is. So I'll have him beat a shark. So my Garbaugust is off to a rocky start. I was hoping to be, I am still hoping for the whole of the month to be just cheering and laughing, bouncing up in my seat with the trash that I read, but not this time. So we'll hope for better next time. I'll wrap this up for now. I will see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.